From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, we go over the incredible news that the Build Back Better Act, the fourth stimulus recon, will pass in the month of January. And the big money in that recon is deliciousness. In this recording, we'll go over all the incredible checks, many checks in this recon, that are going to get passed. The recon will be done in the month of January, says Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer. The Senate changes will be robust with more items going in there. What are the checks? Well, they're going to pay at least $15,000, many checks across the board. I'm going to go over each of them in this recording. But no time and place to wait for fourth stimulus. It's the holidays. It's time to get your Christmas stimulus, and that has been available. And viewers have cleaned up with an average now pushing to $7,000. This is your holiday stimulus, your Christmas stimulus, your Santa Claus stimulus. Viewers have cleaned up, and in this recording, I'm going to show you how, if you haven't gotten this $7,000, how you can get it as well. Meantime, we're going to turn back to the incredible offer on the table from the White House for that student loan debt forgiveness. What is it and how does it work? Then we'll be looking future into January as to what's happening with that COLA raise. 5.9%, what you need to know, and what is happening also with this stimulus right behind that. Those incredible details as we go into a Christmas weekend, as the recon will be happening in January. That will be sending out its sums of money. Santa Claus stimulus available right now, and viewers have cleaned up with at least $7,000. And the excitement of COLA benefits coming in January. Plus, I'll be going over the latest economic data that came out this morning, brand new. The reaction from Mayor Pete and the push of the Federal Reserve. What's the Federal Reserve likely to do in January? My analysis of the situation and my analysis of the recon coming up in the final minutes of this video. It's a big, bold, beautiful day as Christmas gets underway. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And this, my friends, is Santa Claus stimulus across the board. And the excitement starts right here, right now, as Mornings LA gets underway. Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. The fourth stimulus recon will become law in the month of January, says Leader Schumer and Joe Manchin. And the Senate changes going in there will be great. A lot more checks added to the existing pile of checks that pays at least $15,000. Many checks, multiple checks in this fourth stimulus recon. But no time and place to wait to January. It's Christmas time, and it's time to get that Christmas stimulus. And in this recording, I'm going to show you how viewers have really cleaned up with that Christmas stimulus, walking into the holidays with money for Christmas gifts, Christmas meals, even Christmas travel. Average payout is $7,000. If you haven't gotten it, I'm going to show you how to get it as well. Meantime, as the toast is toasted and the butter is butter and the coffee is brewing, and we're going into January. And January involves the incredible COLA raise. What does that mean for you and its impact on your benefits? Of all the analysis of that in this recording. Plus, we'll be looking back to what's going on with student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that. All this and more as we go into a big morning broadcast. I'm excited you're here, but first go into this video and subscribe. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. I don't want you to miss anything across the board. Where'd it go? Where are you? I don't want you to miss anything across the board. And there you are. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes. And consider becoming a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. A lot of stuff coming up in today's recording. What's important for you to know is that this recon will get passed in the month of January and will pay you a lot of money, upwards of at least $15,000. I have all the incredible details of these checks in this recording. We're going to go over each of them one at a time, starting with the first cluster. Here we go. That first cluster has in there hazard pay and $4,000 of elder care. Also in that first cluster is the money to care for young children, $4,000 for that. The Pell Grant for the college student, and then also the CTC, $3,600. The home repairs if you live in a low-income community. And finally, the $12,500 for the purchase of your first home. Wow. The first add-on at checks comes from here in California. Maxine Waters got that provision in there. What did she want to give you? Free money to buy your first home, and it is incredible. And that money she wanted to give you was $25,000. She got a little bit less. How do you get this incredible sums of money? It just sounds incredible. It is incredible. It's coming up later in this recording. Now let's turn to that second cluster of checks, and that second cluster of checks involves the home repairs and also the paid leave. Wow, incredible details across the board. Also in the second cluster of checks is the incredible money for the universal pre-kindergarten and the money for the weatherize your home. When we talk about weatherize your home, what are we referring to? This is different than winterize your home. This is money to make repairs to the home so that it survives natural disasters. There you go. Let's go to that second add-on at checks. Comes from the illustrious Bob Casey, and boy, did he get it in there. It's huge. He wanted to give you $250 billion of it. What is it? It is free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Wow, that is incredible. The incredible sums of money coming up over later in this recording, how you get those sums of money. $250, yeah. It's a little bit less. Let's go to that third cluster. That's where the deliciousness kicks in. Seniors and free internet. Wow. In that third cluster, we have a lot of deliciousness. So we have free school meals for all for checks. We have also the immigration reform removed, but the tax break staying in there, cheaper prescription medication in there, money for the farmers, money for free internet, and then the benefits for the seniors. 2 with 3 more potentially coming. The House members got in there in the Medicare expansion with the hearing and the Medicaid gap fix. And then the senators vowing to add 3 more, dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. And that is why it's important to push across the board. When we look at this incredible recon, what are we looking at? What we're looking at is a recon that has a lot of provisions going in there. But no time and place to wait for fourth stimulus recon, because guess what? This is January, and third stimulus is available right today. It's your Santa Claus stimulus, and it's time for you to pick up that phone and get that Santa Claus stimulus. $7,000 is what viewers are averaging out now. It has grown from $5,000 to $7,000 because viewers have now heard my messaging about getting those additional sums. What are they? How do you get it? It's coming up in the second half of this video. In the second half of this video, I'll explain to you how third stimulus is now available in true form. And people never thought that this would be the case. It is rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and a lot of it. It's big sums of money. In the second half of this video, we'll be going over also the big student loan debt forgiveness offer across the board, and that COLA raise. Those details and more coming up in the second half of this video. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Mornings LA continues live on air direct from Santa Monica, California, this beautiful Christmas morning. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now as Mornings LA continues live this beautiful Christmas weekend. The recon will pass in the month of January, and the Senate changes will be robust. What's going in there and what is staying in there? In this recording, we go over both of those details. Programs so far in this recon will pay at least $15,000. It's incredible. And we go over each of those incredible checks, the biggest payouts you ever see in the history of this channel. But no time or place to wait for fourth stimulus when you can get that Santa Claus stimulus. It's available right now. It's your holiday stimulus. And in the second half of this video, I'm going to go over those big sums of money available right now. Then we'll be turning back over to that student loan debt forgiveness offer and also fifth stimulus. What do you need to know about that? And where are we heading into the new year with that student loan debt offer and with that fifth stimulus COLA raise coming in January? Meantime, I'll answer your questions about its impact on its SNAP and what you should see with this stimulus coming up in January. Then we'll be analyzing what the Federal Reserve is likely to do in January's meetings based upon the changing face of the variant right now, Omicron, its impact on the supply chain, the new labor numbers released just this morning, and also what's going on across the board on industry disruption with the variant. Those details and more as we go into the big second half. But first, I want you part of this incredible family. So go into this video right now and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. I don't want you to miss any videos across the board. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Meantime, sign up for that membership so you are part of the #1 most watched geopolitical news channel in America, #3 overall financial news channel. And sign up for those LA alerts, totally free, and also under the video's description. And with that, we go into the incredible second half of this recon recording with the details about that recon going to the finish line. What's going on? What should you know? Where are we? And what's the recap? So where we are right now is that the fourth stimulus recon will pass in the month of January. So says Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer. As a result of a very confusing week where a lot of things went left and then right and then up and then back down, the end result was really quite wonderful. The Recon 1 will pass in the month of January. Number 2, everything in there is so far staying in there. Number 3, Joe Manchin wants to add some provisions in there. And number 4, everyone is on point in the Senate. So we're good at the moment. What's at issue? Joe Manchin, during a Zoom chat on Wednesday, expressed his desire to add other provisions to this recon. What are those provisions? First, he wants to add in there 1, 2, 3 items for taxes. 1, he wants to fix some of the corporate taxes to raise more revenue for the U.S. government. Number 2, he wants to increase the wealth tax on billionaires. Number 3, he wants to ensure that enforcement for taxes is really effective across the board. Now, Joe Manchin said he wants to pass the recon in January, and he wants to get it done. This is great news across the board. Now, are any provisions likely in jeopardy? I believe they are. First, paid leave. Paid leave, Joe Manchin says he wants to do, not in this meeting, but in prior weeks. But he doesn't want to go by recon. He wants to go by bipartisanship. Somewhere along the way, some Democrats have to show him that there's not enough Republican votes to do it by bipartisan, because Republicans do not want to do paid leave. Number 2, Joe Manchin wants to fix certain languages of the recon, and those provisions have been covered on this channel for months. There are certain provisions that were enacted under third stimulus that ran for 1 year. Very popular. And at the time they were put into third stimulus, the idea of the White House was if they're popular for 1 year, people want to keep on renewing them. Not only the White House, but also the progressives said it over and over again. When we came over to fourth stimulus and started seeing drafts of it, the White House said he wants to have the grand new big deal, the great deal, that'll stem for generations to come. The language the White House was using was repeatedly the same thing. 1, generations. 2, decades, permanent, lifetime, transformative. So this was not 12-month short-term programs. The first recon they debuted in draft format was 20 years of programs at a price tag of $7 trillion. Everyone said no. Then they debuted the White House 10-year programs at a price tag of $3 trillion. Everyone said no. So the White House brought it down to 1-year programs, once again, just another 1 year, price tag 1.7, 1.9. People said yes, until they saw the language. And when you look at the language of the recon, the way it was drafted by the White House, who took ownership of writing it, it's fake language. It masquerades 20-year language as 1 year when it's in fact 20 years. And ultimately, some people can get tricked, but one of them is not Joe Manchin. or the Congressional Budget Office, or myself. The Congressional Budget Office, a nonpartisan organization, looked at the recon and said, these aren't one-year programs. They're 20-year programs with tricky language made to look like one-year programs. Case in point. If you are watching this video right now live and you're about to give birth, name the kid after me. Name the kid after me. But also, under the way the White House envisions this, if that child is in a low-income household, they're going to get $60,000 over the next 18 years of their life. That's not what most Americans want to have happen. No American really wants someone else's child to get paid $60,000 over 18 years because, one, it's not money they're getting. Number two, they don't want their taxes to be levied to pay $60,000 to someone else's kid. And number three, the question is why? They don't want to do it. In fact, progressives don't want to do it. In fact, moderate Democrats don't want to do it. It's the White House that wants to do it. So this is some of the provisions like that CTC that had to get modified. Not difficult, they can get it done. More about this in my final minutes of this video. I do go over my analysis, and I also go over my commentary of what I expect. But let's go right into these incredible checks. There's a lot of checks, many checks, multiple checks, lots of checks in this incredible recon. I'm going to go over every single one of them one at a time. Get your pen and paper ready because it's important for you to know how to pounce when they become law. The first checks in this recon are the paid leave, which we just went over. The paid leave is likely to stay in there because these are checks that even Joe Manchin wants to have. He'd rather have the Republicans do it, but they don't. Paid leave, how much does it pay? $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $35,000 annual salary, $800 a week. $15,000 annual salary, $400 a week. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. That's $46,000 on the high end. Yes, lots of money. Now, who gets it? All income levels, and W-2, 1099, all types of workers. But if you don't work but live with your son and daughter and they work and they take off from work once a week to take you to the doctor, they're going to get paid for doing it across the board. They got in there the incredible SALT cap, which is huge, bringing it from $10,000 to $72,500 of what you can deduct in state and local taxes. They got in there the $40 billion of free job training, important for millions of Americans who want to take a higher paying job. And then they got in there the Medicaid gap fix, very important. That will provide health insurance coverage to millions of Americans in 12 Republican states where the governors vowed to never pay for Obamacare. So they got a workaround plan to provide years of subsidized private insurance to those people in those states. The immigration reform removed, and then they got in there the single best provision in this entire recon, the housing provision. That has $150 billion of housing with three provisions that are new: weatherize your home, first-time home purchases, and also home repairs. And three provisions that are very familiar because we saw them previously under third stimulus. And they are rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And the great news is you don't have to wait for fourth stimulus to become a law. You can get it right now under third stimulus. And this, my friends, is your Christmas stimulus. This is your Christmas stimulus that viewers are cleaning up on. The average viewer of this channel was getting $5,000 upwards of about a week ago, until I showed viewers how to get more of it. Now they're averaging about $7,000, which is a lot of money. It's more than even an MSC. This is what viewers have gotten this week. They got it last week, and you can get it as well. Get that pen and paper ready right now, because we're going to go over how you can get these thousands of dollars, and what are they, and how do they calculate. First, what are they? They are rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. And the average payout that viewers have gotten is now moving up staggeringly to $6,000 to $7,000. It's averaging there, but we've had higher. One viewer getting $138,000, another viewer getting $48,000. What is this? It starts with looking back on this channel over the last year. In December 2020, we were watching Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi negotiate second stimulus. It never happened. And you understood it was the holidays. I understood it was the holidays. So I stepped forward and I figured out how to get people money because that's what I do. I got viewers $25 million of EIDL loans earlier that year and EIDL grants. So I showed viewers, this is how you get this money for rent and utilities. The concept is very simple. Let's say you have a wad of $1,000 cash in your right pocket to pay the landlord the December rent. But right before you're about to take it out of your pocket, someone walks up and says, hold up, you don't have to do that, I'll pay your rent. Then let's say in the second pocket is a wad of cash to pay the gas bill. And right before you're about to take it out to pay the gas company, someone walks up and says, hold up, you don't have to pay it, I'll take care of the bill for you. Suddenly, there's extra cash in your wallet. extra cash in your pockets. And that cash can go for holiday meals, holiday gifts, Christmas stimulus, Christmas vacations. Christmas items can go for stuff for January for the kids going back into school. Can go for a lot of money. That's what I showed viewers at the time. Also at the time, in December 2020, I had a preview of what was going to become third stimulus. No one else had this. And I said, I'm going to call this third stimulus. There's a lot of money in here. I think I can get you about $15,000 when it becomes law. When it became law, you had already done this before under December 2020, and you cleaned up. The average viewer of this channel got $45,000 from third stimulus. But during the summer, some viewers got another round because I showed them what another round is. Let's come to the present. 4 weeks ago, you and I had a tough love chat. I said to you, there's no way that fourth stimulus is going to land in your hand before Christmas. So you need money. I'm going to show you how to get money. It's third stimulus. You're going to get another round, and that money is available right now. It created a lot of surprise by viewers. One, viewers said, I already got money from this earlier this year. I didn't know I could get another round. Number two, people who had never got to thought it was used up. So immediately I showed viewers, and initially it was 4 to 6 months of rent, $5,000 and 2 utilities. But in recent days, I've showed viewers how to get more rounds, and now they're pushing it closer to $7,000. This is more than anything anyone would have thought they could get in December from this channel. I'm so excited for you. I'm so applauding of you, and I'm going to show all the rest of you how to get that money right now. So get that pen and paper ready, get that newsletter out. If you're a member, we're going to go over all these sums of money. We're going to start first with the rent. The rent is a lot of money. And how much money is it? It was this 3 months ago, $20,000 to $30,000. It has grown a lot. It is now upwards of $40,000. Where do you get this money? Take pens and paper, get ready to take notes. Here you go. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. 3 months you must do. You must reach out to all 6 places. Number 2, you must get multiple applications on file. Number 3, you must do multiple rounds. Now, what's a round? And people are learning this even better than ever before. And this is how we've brought it from 5,000 just about a week ago to now 6,000. This is a round. Let's say in the spring, when third stimulus first came out, you got some rent. Well, that was for the months in the spring. We're in the winter now. So let's say today you got rent from organization number 1 for October, November, December. You can turn this afternoon to organization number 2 and say, I need some rent for January, February, March. And you can get it. That's how you do it. Then, how am I getting these viewers extra sums of money, bringing them to 6,000 to 7,000? Because I said, listen, go back in your notes and figure out what money you got in the last 2 weeks on this channel. Look, see which utilities paid you for what months and when you got you rent for which months. And I guarantee you, you're missing one of the items or you're missing some months you can get additional sums of money for. And viewers have done that. And each time they find one, it's about $600. Each $600 is, and viewers are averaging about 2 items they've missed or 2 months they've missed. And that is an additional $1,000 in there. Whammo, $6,000 to $7,000. So here is the rent. Do the same thing for mortgage assistance. Next, utilities. Reach out to all utility companies. Same thing. Utility assistance because of COVID. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000 across the board. SNAP, money for food. You get it from the Department of Agriculture. And it is really incredible. Viewers are having their lives changed because of this channel, because they never knew about SNAP till they found this channel. Now they're having lifetimes of benefits that are going to span many, many years to come. Mark's brother-in-law is now getting $25,000 a year because of SNAP. Over the next 10 years, he's going to get $250,000 from this channel. Get it from the Department of Agriculture. Pick up the phone. You qualify if you got a third stimulus check. Eligibility is about the same. Next, get combos. It started with Anisi and Art Sullivan. They got 3, and ever since then, I've been telling viewers get 3. Here's Mark. He was at 2. I said, Mark, was your third? He got his third, brought himself to $50,000. Now he's over $100,000. Lorraine, she was at 105. Now she's at 120. Which is really par for the course of what we're looking at when we talk about this incredible recon. I'm going to go over that, and I'm also going to go over Johnny's incredible story in just a second. But here you go. This is how we prepare. Financial independence starts here on this channel. Getting cash when cash is king. If cash is available, you grab it. You grab it as quickly as possible. You don't spend your time talking about something in the past tense. Case in point, here's an example right now. Someone who wants to jump in the live chat saying, whatever happened to SS200? takes 20 minutes out of their time to say whatever happened to SS200. Writes 20 messages, whatever happened to SS200. It ain't happening. SS200 was $2,400 over 12 months. This money, viewers are getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on average. That's a lot more than $2,400. And there are SSDI viewers. There are all types of viewers. So this is how you grab money that's available. You don't focus on the name of what it's called. You don't focus on whatever happened. You focus on what's now. There's a lot of money coming out of this government because of the pandemic. And when the money is available, you grab it because it's first come, first serve. Let's turn to the incredible story of Johnny. Johnny's incredible story started several weeks ago. He was starting the week at $0, but by the middle of the week, he got 3 stimulus checks from 3 different programs, $45,000. Great. But he heard my recordings and said, get as many different checks you can from as many different programs. By the end of the week, he had 7 stimulus checks from 7 different programs. Now, why is this important? Why is this so motivating? Part 1 of the story. Because you're going to have a 50% average rejection rate on the phone when you make the phone call for this money. 20% on the better end, 50% on the low end. Just expect some no's. You're also going to get some yeses. He had to have made 17 phone calls or 15 phone calls to get 7 yeses. That means he made the effort. How much did he get in those 5 days? $80,000 across 7 stimulus checks. Part 2 of Johnny's incredible story followed the following Monday. His 2 family members said, what have you been doing? I said, I've been getting money from third stimulus, watching LA. They said, third stimulus? I never heard of anything else in third stimulus. He said, they don't cover it. He covers it. Let me show you what it is. This is what's going to happen with 4 stimulus, folks. This is what's going to happen with 4 stimulus. It's going to pass in January. And everyone else that hasn't watched this channel, become a member, become a subscriber, ain't going to know it's in the 4 stimulus. All they're going to know is, what did Joe Manchin say to Joe Biden on a particular day? They're going to just know the reality TV dramatics. They're not going to know the checks because broadcast media ain't cover it. They ain't going to show you how to get this money. They're going to vaguely reference there's something there as though it sort of, appears. This is why you watch this channel. It's about getting every pot of money you can. So Johnny had 32 people reach out to him over the next few weeks, and he helped them. I said, 32 people, Johnny? What'd you help them with? Well, I showed them the videos. They became members. They became subscribers. We watched the videos. We went over the newsletter together, and they each got money. I said, you got 32 people money from third stimulus? How much money did you get them? He said, $850,000. There you go. That's $850,000 from 32 people who watched the videos of this channel and got that third stimulus. It's the same as the Christmas stimulus, your Santa Claus stimulus. So go right on this video right now and become a member and subscribe. I want you to go right on this video right now and become a member and get that incredible newsletter. It comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. It features the 6 places you reach out to get this money covered in the video. It features the words you say covered in this video. It also features stuff not covered in this video, like the 5 nonprofits that also pay money for different items. What do they pay money for? Who are they? What home repairs do they do? Which one does the home repairs? It also features, not covered in this video, the incredible news statement from Treasury, which explains what this money is. So you make the phone call and ask for it, you know what to ask across the board. Become an incredible member today, and like other viewers, get that incredible Santa Claus stimulus that viewers have gotten, averaging now upwards of $7,000. And this is how they are having a wonderful holiday with Christmas gifts, Christmas meals, even Christmas travel, because that cash in those pockets stayed in their pockets because someone else paid their bills. This is what financial independence is about. And this is what the true meaning of Christmas is about. Getting whatever is available for you because you learned across the board. Let's go right now into the continuation of 4th stimulus, which we left off at the housing provision. That housing provision has 3 provisions which are brand new. The first one is home repairs. This would be a live in a low-income community, weatherize your home, all types of homes, to sustain natural disaster, and first-time home purchases given to the seller in your name by the federal government at the time of escrow. What else is in this recall? Well, they also got in there the incredible Medicaid gap fix, which is providing years of insurance in those states where they never had insurance. The Pell Grant $550 check from my college students And then they got in there the huge $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle, plus $65 per month when the student is not in school for nutrition. Which brings us to the best provision of this entire recon, the cheaper medication. Wow. It'll start at day one with 20 medications and grow by 2028 to 30 medications. The most expensive, like cancer, arthritis, and diabetes, dramatically reduced across the board. These medications will not increase more than the rate of inflation year after year and will encompass both Medicare Part B and Medicare Part D. Really incredible, great news. Now, if you look at that graphic on the air and it says $15,000, there's clearly more than $15,000 of checks in this recon, many multiple checks. We got everything repeating back from third stimulus that paid you on average about $45,000. We have the Senate add-ons, everything that Bernie wants to add, Ron Wyden wants to add, and all that other senators want to add in there. Then we have all the add-ons covered earlier in this video from Maxine Waters and Bob Casey. So we're clearly over $50,000 to $60,000 of checks. There's also the household tax credit, the Pell Grant we went over, the nutrition, the housing, and also the student money, and that's $50,000 to $60,000 before we even knock on the door. And of course, they can still put in an MSC. MSC stands for Multiple IRS Stimulus Check. It is one of many instruments that can be added to this recon. This is one that would pay $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000, so says the legislators. Less than the Santa Claus stimulus, because the Santa Claus stimulus at this point is more money than that the viewers have got in the last few weeks. And this would be going out in the same way in which third stimulus would go out, so says those legislators. Single individual, $75,000 less, got it. Married couple, $150,000 less, got it. Double it. Family of four, got it. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, they got it as well. That recon is certainly heading to the finish line, and this has a lot of checks in there. Many, many checks, multiple checks. And the likelihood of it becoming law, that's coming up in just a second with my commentary where I explain how they're going to get it done and how they need to avoid any particular pitfalls. I'll explain to you what the pitfalls would be across the board. But first, let's take a break and jump over to student loan debt forgiveness. Student loan debt forgiveness has an offer on the table, and what is it? $10,000 of student loan debt to be forgiven. And that offer should be taken. The Democrats previously had that offer on the table and said nothing about it. But hey, it's better than nothing. They can ask more money next year. The Democrats previously got an executive order from the president to forgive student loan debts for people who became disabled after graduation, went to work in the nonprofit sector after graduation, or went to work in the public sector. COLA benefits and your fifth stimulus and your SNAP. Let me answer your question starting right now. Great news is everyone's benefits are going up 5.9% January 1 across the board. You don't have to do anything. It's automatic. Everyone on benefits. That's your COLA raise. Your benefits are income. And so if your benefits go up, your income, your SNAP goes down a little bit. So your income is not going up more than 5.9%. So your SNAP is not going down more than 5.9%. I've gotten just a few, maybe 2 or 3 messages from people who are longtime members of this channel who said, hi, I learned my COLA is going up 5.9%. Why is my SNAP going down $300, $400? News alert, that's not because of COLA. It's because of something else you've done that has nothing to do with COLA. So you need to pick up the phone and contact Department of Nutrition right away and ask them, why is your SNAP going down? It's not because of COLA if it's going down that much. Then fifth stimulus coming right behind that. How's fifth stimulus going to work? So fifth stimulus would heat up in January at the same time as fourth stimulus and would seek to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. And love would win, and you would no longer fear loss of benefits as with your lifetime partner. Meantime, they want to raise your benefits up one big time and apply a new benchmark. That would be COLA. That would give you more in benefits every year. And with that, let me turn back over to what happened with the new labor numbers released this morning, what I'm predicting with the Federal Reserve in January, and the impact on your wallet and the economy. So, the Federal Reserve a week ago said that it has 2 issues to address, tapering and interest rates. And it will address them appropriately. How do they do it? Well, they said, as to interest rate spikes, we're not going to do that now until we're done with tapering. And as to tapering, they said we're going to do it faster because the economic numbers are too strong. That, however, caused them to also say two other things. One, we may pivot and change. And two, we currently, at that time of their conference, don't see Omicron as a factor. Since then, Omicron has gone from less than 3% of U.S. cases to over 70% of cases. ICU beds are full capacity, but it's a mixed bag. It's hard to read at the moment. Why? Because holiday travel is at record numbers right now, so people are not staying home. Record travel across the board, even though ICUs are at full capacity once again in many parts of the United States. So we won't see if there's a disruption to labor or disruption to industry in travel, leisure, hospitality, education, considering some remote learning again. We won't know that firmly until January, perhaps February, and certainly March. The impact of the variant, if people catch it during the holiday travel, will be seen in January because it takes a few days to become sick, a few days to realize you have to go to the hospital, and a few days for that situation to be documented in data for economic purposes. That's when the Federal Reserve will react to it and say, what I believe they're going to say is, one, Omicron is now a factor. And two, we don't know how much of a factor, but I think we need to slow down on the tapering. That's my prediction for Q1 2022. I believe the Federal Reserve is going to revert, pivot, and say, instead of fast speeding up tapering, we're going to slow down the tapering. Until we know what's going on, the impact of Omicron and Delta on the situation for the labor, and we may not know that till March. And at that point, we rather be slow to speed up the taper, than being too aggressive on the pedal. Next, what were the labor numbers this morning? New unemployment numbers released this morning, and they were good, really good. It showed that the lowest number of new jobless claims in the U.S. economy since the start of the pandemic. It was not as good as last week. Remember, last week was the best number we'd seen in nearly 50 years. This is how many people are back at work. People are back at work. They're not on the sidelines. They're back in the labor workforce. But could that change dramatically in the next 30, 60 days or 90 days? We shall see. It's a very, very fluid situation when you can't determine whether it disrupts supply chain, disrupts industry growth, and disrupts consumer spending. The consumer spending number came in this morning. It was okay, not bad. So people clearly have jobs, clearly are spending, but to what extent does that impact the economy if we slow quickly because of a worsening Omicron or Delta situation? And with that, let me go into the final minutes of this video with my commentary of what's happening with the recon and how they're going to get it done in January and what they must avoid to get it done in January. A lot of details across the board. All right, first, the recon is currently in the Senate, landing from the House, and the Senate has ownership of it. The way the recon is going to pass in January is that the Senate keeps everyone out of the equation who are not senators. Number one, House members need to stay out of the equation. And when I mean stay out, not tweeting, not having press conferences, not appearing on Sunday morning news, talking about this or that. You had your opportunity, you passed it, now zip it. If we're talking about Pramila Jayapal or Nancy Pelosi, the comments aren't helping. Over the weekend, Pramila Jayapal said no one negotiated Joe Manchin. No, that don't help the situation. That's not how you do it. Nancy Pelosi over the weekend saying, just do exactly the recon the House passed. No, the House bill is not perfect. It's imperfect. It needs to be fixed. What's the most important group to stay out of it? And you know exactly what I'm going to say. The White House staff. Now, there's both a personality issue and a substantive issue. The personality issue is very obvious. Joe Manchin doesn't like the staff. I got it. But we also have the staff sort of appearing where they should not be appearing. Back during the voting process of October for passing the roads and bridges, there was a meeting with Joe Manchin, Bernie Sanders, Kristen Sinema, and Chuck Schumer in Chuck Schumer's Senate office in the Capitol building. Who shows up and crashes the party? Economic advisors for the White House. They're not cabinet members. They're economic advisors. They're not senators. Stay out of it. You're not voting. This is a senator's office that are viewing what's happening in the House. Stay out of it. That's the personality issue. The substantive issue is more important, though. The recon has errors of language in there that Chuck Schumer has caught, I have caught, Joe Manchin has caught, the Congressional Budget Office has caught, and the trickery of a few staffers to insert it was deliberate, was not fixed, is remaining in there and has to be removed. And it can only be removed if they stay out of it, the staffers. What's at issue? Paying $60,000 to newborn children. Yeah, the CTC. No one watching this video wants to pay someone else's kid $60,000 and not get $60,000 themselves. No one wants to do that. No one wants their taxes to be levied to pay for $60,000 for someone else's kid you never met. No one wants to do that. And that's per kid. That's not per household. So let's say a household has 4 kids. That's $240,000 in that household. No one wants this to happen. This is because someone in the White House really has this obsession with doing this thing. And that's not what anyone wants to do. You have to understand the mindset is that someone in this White House originally wanted to run these programs for 30, 40, 20 years. Not possible. We ain't spending $7 trillion. And what they were artfully able to do was change the language to make it look like they're one-year programs and say, hey, it worked for 1 year. Let's do another year. And then when you look at it, you're like, but it's not another year. It's 20 years. It's 30 years. It's 40 years. And when you tell them to change it, they won't change it because they're the actual authors. Well, when we're in the Senate, it's a Senate that changes the language. The recon will pass and become law if Chuck Schumer keeps the White House out of the equation. The White House staff needs to not be showing up and negotiating the language parts. The House members need not to be part of the discussion of negotiating the parts. And that ultimately, everyone in this group, including Joe Manchin, wants to pass the recon, but wants to pass it in a sensible way where the programs are on one year, not 20 years. No one in this group is against anything that makes sense, with the exception of Joe Manchin thinking that paid leave can go by bipartisan support when there is enough Republican votes for it. Other than that, everyone is on the same wavelength in the Senate. That's what Chuck Schumer's best at. He's worked with them. They know each other. They've known each other for many, many years. They work hand in hand on a lot of legislation. They don't know these staffers that have only been in the White House for 4 months, 6 months, that have never been in the federal government before. They don't know these people. They're brand new people in the face. They don't want to interact with them. They have nothing to do with the situation. Sound familiar? It is. It sounds exactly like the Republican members last year not wanting to deal with Steve Mnuchin. He was actually a cabinet member. He wasn't a staffer or an economic advisor. He was actually a cabinet member. And they didn't want to deal with him because he doesn't pass legislation, Steve Mnuchin. He can negotiate, but he doesn't write things and he doesn't draft things, and he's not a legislator. He doesn't legislate. And when people go over what they're not supposed to do, it makes other people uneasy. Bottom line, the recon is a lot of money. And what I want to go over with you is my final thoughts for this holiday season. My final thoughts for this holiday season is that you have done so well in this last year. Because of this channel, because of listening to the videos of this channel, because of learning the information, you have been able to get sums of money, big sums of money, early in this year from third stimulus. And with those big sums of money from third stimulus, you've been able to create financial independence. 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had this tough love moment where I said 4 stimulus was not going to land in your hands before the holidays. So I showed you how to get that third stimulus, and you did. You got that money so that someone else paid your bills, and that your money stayed in your pockets. And with that, you were able to get holiday gifts, holiday meals, holiday travel for one another. $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 more than anything else than this recon would have immediately given you at any point. That's how we do it. It took a lot of effort by all of us to divest ourselves from really the mess that was created elsewhere in 2020, where people told you wrong stuff in 2020. They told you focus on the day that Steve Mnuchin meets with Nancy Pelosi. Why? Focus on the minute that Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin have an offer. Why? Focus on this. No, you focus on cash. You focus on getting cash that's there and grabbing it when it's available. We don't focus on terms. We don't focus on, I'm in love with a provision. I only want that provision. Person who says whatever happened to SS200. Person who even spends 10 seconds of their hands typing whatever happened to SS200. That's $2,400 at most. We're never going to confirm it's going to run 12 months, but let's assume it's going to run 12 months. $2,400. This right here, my friends, was $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Blink of an eye. You never want to be tied down to the name of a provision. Surely, there was a lot of stuff in 2020 I was very excited about. There was that special $50,000 grant that went out for certain things, and those are the grant to go start a new business. Whatever happened to that grant to start a new business? Didn't happen. So let's find some other money. Government pivots, government change makes changes. It makes changes, but this government sends out a lot of money. Sent out a lot of money in 2020, sent out a lot of money in 2021, and sending out a lot of money in 2022. You've learned to grab it as soon as possible because it's first come, first serve. You've learned to pivot and learn what it is if that's the first thing available to grab, and not to sit around and wait for something else across the horizon. You grab the first thing that's available. This holiday stimulus is still available right today. It's not a holiday today, depending on what day of the week you're watching this video, where you live. So you can pick up the phone and get this money. You're going to get it all next week as well. This is money available all this time frame into the new year. Coming up next is Noontime's Holiday LALATE show. Excited for you to join me. And then we have a new afternoon show at 3 o'clock and a big new evening show at 5 o'clock. And with that, subscribe. At 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of the incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Join me throughout the day with more programming. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful day. Watch for Santa surfing at the beach. I don't know if Mrs. Claus approves of him surfing this cold weather. But other than that, have a beautiful day. Stay informed, stay focused. Always stay here. Always stay motivated. And remember to get all these sums of money that are available for you under all these stimulus. And stay with LA for more.